Professor Prabhat Munshi, Dean of Resources and Alumni, and batch coordinators Mr. Bhagwan Shankar and Mr. Kaushal Chari to come on the dais and light the lamp. Professor P.S. Venkatesh to address the gathering.
Welcome to all of you. This is the fourth reunion we are having in the year 2014, in the latter part of 2014. Oh, sorry, this is 2015. This is the first reunion we are having in 2015. In the recent past, we have had reunions for the 45th batch, the people who graduated 45 years ago, then 20, then 25. So you have the fourth in the line, and a lot of thanks has to go to Mr. Bhagwan Shankar and Mr. Chari for making this possible, for having done all the groundwork to make all of you come here in this kind of winter conditions. Of course, the winter is equally bad everywhere else, I guess. So it's also the reason for a lot of people, I think, cancelling or deferring or delaying their visits. But what I want to say is, it's very nice of you all to come and see your institute again. We have now on our calendar reunions spaced every 5 years apart. So we might as well look forward to you right now to tell you that there will be a 35th year reunion 5 years from now for all of you. So right now I would like to request you to observe a few moments silence for some of the departed souls of this batch. Their names are as follows: Mr. Raghuraj Rakali, Krishnakant Kumar Singh, Ranjit Ghosh, Pramod Kumar Jha, Rana Dhingra. A minute silence, please. Thank you all. I'd like to request Mr. Manna to address the guest.
Very good morning to Mr. particularly to the batch coordinator, Mr. Bhagwan Shankar and Kaushal Chari, Mr. Venkatesh, Mr. Munshi, Mr. Agarwal, my colleagues from this institute, and a special welcome to all of those who have come for this particular batch reunion, 1979 to 84, class of 1979, or 30th anniversary, those who are celebrating the 30th anniversary of their graduation. I guess all of you took your degree in 1984. This is a homecoming for you, so obviously we are very pleased to see you all, and the number probably could have been better if the weather was a little more comfortable. As Professor Venkatesh said, this is actually truly the reunion season, 4th or 5th, and the number is swelling actually. I think when 2 years ago it was just maybe 2, and now it's 4 or 5. But it's all the more, it's a good sign that all of you would like to remain connected to your alma mater. And there are a few things which we always maintain, that alumni are the biggest goodwill ambassadors for any institute. They also are the biggest trophies that the institute can cite to justify its existence. going by the logic that you are about 25, 30 years you have spent after your graduation in your profession, so you are possibly at the peak of your career or approaching the peak of your career, and certainly Institute would like to share and bask in your glory. This institution, no matter where you are, I'm sure you do stay in touch and receive information about the Institute time to time. We currently have a few important agenda in front of us. Faculty recruitment is one of them. We have large number of vacancies, but then we consciously do not want to hire faculty fill up all the vacancies at the same point of time. But you'd be glad to hear that it's for the first time in the history of IIT Kanpur, we have crossed 400 mark of faculty strength. We are always keen to increase the numbers, particularly in the large departments like electrical, mechanical, computer science, and so on. So faculty recruitment is one of our major tasks. The next important agenda in our latter is the augmentation of infrastructure. At the moment, we are dealing with about 6,500 students, over 400 faculty, about 600 non-teaching staff, and about 3,000, more than 3,000 contract labor, and over 4,000 project staff, project employees. So altogether, the institute actually is almost saturated in terms of the space and the provisions we have compared to the number of students, scholars, faculty members, staff members, and project employees we have. So major challenge is to overcome this difficulty in a very short span of time, maybe in the next couple of years' time. But we certainly have added, it's not that the Institute didn't do anything at all. In the last several years, we should have added some hostels, some new research facilities, buildings. Even the Institute has now a campus in Noida and an international office in New York. We also are very keenly pursuing to get a piece of land in Lucknow so that we can create an entrepreneurship park here. But the most important thing is that the Institute has now a slightly different but a very major ambition in terms of pursuing certain disciplines or directions in which Institute can actually develop a complete technology and claim or sort of justify its existence by saying that we not only created illustrious pool of alumni, not only we have taught and created good standards of education in engineering and technology, and also not only that we have published papers or patented technologies and even helped the industry to some extent. But beyond these three, the Institute now is also very keen that it should produce and deliver a complete technology in certain selected domains where we have developed our expertise over the year. Unmanned aerial systems or unmanned air vehicle is one area which actually could be used as a platform for various kind of utilities for the societies, starting from natural resource mapping to weather forecasting or defense applications for various kinds of monitoring and so on. We already have a prototype, and we are in collaboration with an industry. We have developed gone up to a certain level, and one of our illustrious alumni, Prabhu Goel, has donated a large sum of money to support this initiative. And at least 3 different projects are running in parallel, and about half a dozen department or faculty members from half a dozen departments are involved in various capacities. So this is an area where we think we should be able to make a mark in the near future. Another very major development you would like to probably will appreciate to learn is that the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has given us about 120 crore project to develop a center, national center on flexible electronics. There are about 6 or 7 clear-cut deliverables which covers something like energy harvesting devices, to sensors, to display units, monitoring devices. So several other well-defined products actually comprise the list of items that we are going to develop under this strategy. Environmental engineering is another area where this institute has a lot of strength, and that's also is considered to be one of the proposed mega project areas or directions. So these are the things which actually the institute certainly would like to share with you. Infrastructure, besides infrastructure, I would say that quality of output also needs to be augmented, and this covers all quarters, faculty, scholars, students. So there are a lot of things to be done. Maybe you do read probably the alumni news, and we are trying to strengthen the information dissemination system. The website is now overhauled, and you probably would have seen the new website. But beyond website, we would like to actually have a very strong information dissemination system through an information cell. We have appointed an information officer. The institute also has started something called Technology Development Initiative with the appointment of an expert in the role of this initiative, or the main objective of this initiative, is to first of all encourage technology development disclosures from within the institute, and in a structured manner disseminate them to the rest of the world, including the concerned industries who could be interested to absorb those developments, and also at the same time bring in information, relevant information from the rest of the world, from industry, government, media, agencies, even individual entrepreneurs, cull the informations and bring and feed to our internal people here so that we can connect to each other. So essentially it's a two-way window for information dissemination to reach out to the world and also collect information from the rest of the world and bring it to the internal stakeholders. It's not just one, and probably just in a few minutes I would rather not attempt to summarize each and every initiatives. For example, the institute also is very keen to make the governance system of the institute as transparent and as effective as possible. So we have introduced very many cells in the recent past. For example, I mentioned about the information cell, technology development cell, similarly safety cell, women cell, various other mechanisms by which actually we could stay connected with the community and give an effective mechanism through which all the functionaries remain connected to the system, remain answerable, and the process appears transparent. Lastly, I would like to mention that for the first time in its history of IIT Kanpur, our students have made us proud. In 2 consecutive years, they emerged as general champion in inter-IIT sports meet, which never happened before. So the students certainly, we are all aware that how brilliant and what amount of potential they carry. And this is not just they are good in academics, they also are able to show that they are equally good in extracurricular activities. Of course, we celebrate those annual events that Student Khana every year does in terms of the Antaragni, the Cultural Fest, the Utkosh, the Sports Festival, and Techtriti, the Techno Fest. Besides that, there are also many other activities which go on around the year, but they are now doing it in a very disciplined manner. They submit their calendar of activities and get it approved and pursue that exactly as per that routine. I thought I would just share some of this information with you so that you feel you are still a part of this institute, and I want you to remain constantly in touch and feel that though you are for your professional reasons away, but you are pretty much connected with the system. So on behalf of the institute, on my personal behalf, I welcome you to this on the event, and I'm sure all of you are doing well, and on behalf of the Institute, we wish that you do even better, make us more proud, and most importantly, remain connected with us, and if possible, come up with ideas like many other batches are keen to do in areas where you actually can supplement the developmental activities that the Institute Authority is doing in terms of research, in terms of infrastructure augmentation, in terms of new initiatives, or even in terms of building the brand IIT Kanpur. So thanks again for coming here. I wish that you enjoy your stay very much and carry back home very pleasant memories. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would again like to request you to facilitate the alumni, and I would like to request batch coordinator Mr. Bhagwan Shankar to introduce a little bit about.
I can say a few words to everybody here. Well, here we are on the 30th reunion of our batch 79-84. And as it happens, it's a great experience getting connected to your basics. As an adolescent, when we came here in 79 and 75 years, they were perhaps the best of the years that everybody agrees. But I say that I never could get that kind of life later on, despite being with God's grace and best of these positions or, influence, power, whatever. And then we are all here. At least I can say that there is representation from all the parts of the world. The numbers are small, but each one, I'm sure, is a kind of, you can see the tip of that sort of kind of thing. Like Banerjee here, I can see from US, Chari, of course, from US, but US, it's a large number over there. Similarly from Australia, Kalra, then Prashant is there, and of course from India, Nijaman is from Europe. So most of the world is represented here, wherever we are. So despite being a small number, we are definitely not feeling a kind of humbled or bad. Because I remember the way it was in SJR, 25th year, where the numbers were 75. So it doesn't really matter. That's what I want to indicate to Professor Manna, that we are strong from within, heart and advice, and we are very much connected to our alma and we will do our best, whatever is possible. We care so much for the alma mater. And each one of us here is definitely rooted to IITK, and we feel proud of being a product of this institution, which has made its mark and very often remains number one in number of fields, particularly the academic field, research. Now that I was happy to know from someone see that in sports we have been doing so well within IITs and other institutions when it comes to competition. So that is how we are, and it's good. On behalf of the batchmates who are here, I'm privileged to speak on their behalf, and that we could do something to see that the 30th reunion takes place here. I particularly thank Professor Venkatesh that he agreed to organize this 30th reunion, which wasn't here. It used to be, he had told me that we do only 25th year or 35th year. But then when the demand came that we can't wait for another 10 years, let's meet after 5 years, 30th reunion. And when I put a proposal to him, he agreed to it. So especially we all thank Professor Venkatesh and the entire administration here, the director, that this came into being. Then coming to we that we are here, I'll read out the name and then I'll request on behalf of the administration and the institute that the persons can come with the family.
So I
introduce. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, thank you.
Amit Banerjee. Amit Banerjee is in Bangalore. And he's been here again. Next one is Ajay Trivedi. Ajay Trivedi is from Kanpur. He is a stable source of reference for us. Anything required from shoot here, we bother him. Prakash is here, Prakash Kumar. Now back from his Kanpur government home. And commuting between India and Australia too frequently. Rajiv Kalra next is here with his wife. Rajiv is in Ingenico, graduate from Sydney. Nizaman, Anil Nizaman, Finland. He was with Nokia, now with Microsoft and TCS. Worked in Germany. Ashok Kumar. Ashok was my roommate. He is with BPCL working in Kolkata. Pankaj Srivastava is BPCL local combination. He's working from Noida. Sangeet Oswal is here with his family. He lives in Delhi. Sudhir Kumar Gupta, Sudhir Kumar Sinha. He's in BSNL. He's here with his family, wife and son. Comes from Kolkata, working there. Sunil Gupta. Sunil Gupta is working from Gurgaon. Tilak Singh Gupta. Tilak is here with his family, wife, kids. Okay. He is in Gurgaon. Upen Maheshwari with his family. He is engineers in Delhi. Well, then there's Kushan Shari and myself. Let's see.
Somebody told me he died in Canada.
Nakal.
Nakal.
Yeah, Canada.
Nakal. That's right.
Actually, one other person we met was Shivinder Singh Grewal.
Grover.
Passed away in Atlanta. It was a very tragic.
2 years ago. Yeah, that's sad. In fact, just not 5. Last time we had come this year.
So I'd like to thank our directors for having come over. Even such a tight schedule. He actually has a class at 12 o'clock, he told me. So, barely given him enough time to rush back.
So please
Thank you.
enjoy your stay.
And he was right with the students in IIT Kanpur cheering them on for the championship this year. And he called me, and I also went for it. Make sure that they scrape past by 0.5 points out of 69. So we were champions with 69 points, and the second team was Roorkee with 68.5. And the haggling went on for 1 hour because everybody was fighting which garbad hai, 0.5. So we made sure that people don't consider last year as a fluke. And we had a small meeting with the captains and the players, with local alumni who we had invited, about 10 of them, company CEOs, they came, and we have started a sports fund also. And we are trying to figure out how to channel it, because every person has his or her own passion for sports. So, but the fund has been started, and we have started accepting money. So this is my job as Dean of Resources. As Dean of Alumni, I am always there to talk to you and tell you stories, and you can tell me stories back. So I've lived in Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, mostly Kanpur, since 1972. And if somebody is from Germany, I have lived in Germany also, so I can talk. And Harish has lived in England for several years before joining here. So we also have a mixed international background.
While we're talking about inter-IIT sports and sports fund, probably one of the reasons why we are doing well in sports now is the students always had interest, they had passion for doing well in sports. But we managed to find good set of coaches who could bring all this talent together and then motivate them and maintain that, sustain that motivation. That was very toughest one. For example, we are all used to studying 3 days before the exam, before the quiz, but sports doesn't work like that. It requires sustained effort. Coaches are doing a good job, Institute is supporting that. The sports fund, we are mainly using it for inviting people from outside, sports people from outside, who would play with our students here. They're not going to be talking with our students, but actually playing with our students. It gives them a chance to compete with the real sports people for whom the sports is their profession. And that way the standards of our players also go up. That's how we are using that fund.
I just want to add, again, I'm doing my part of Dean of Resources, that we get a lot of money from the government. We get a lot of money from the government, and we have a corpus, and the percentage of corpus is around 3 to 5%. So a lot of alumni tell me why you are collecting money, why this endowment, when the total expenses are only 3 to 5%. Well, it is that 3 to 5% which the government rules do not allow us. So I'll give you some examples, like giving a cash award for publishing a paper in a journal, 10,000 rupees.
The director is waiting outside. He wants to take a picture of.
Okay.
अभी और कोई है क्या देखो बस नहीं
अच्छा 1 मिनट ये भी लेके आते हैं ना ये पट्टा गाड़ी पर कोई बात नहीं you can take one from my camera also
सब अभी बैच में इतने लोग हैं और कोई
ये लो
Flash or it up? That's right.
आप ऐसा करो आप जाके आगे फोटो खींचो स्वास्तिक
उनको दे दो ना, उसको दे दो, उसको दे दो।
आप एक बार ले लो।
कैमरा में रिमोट कंट्रोल किसने नहीं बनाया क्या? कैमरा वहाँ रख दो, यहाँ से नहीं, टाइमर तो है, रिमोट तो नहीं है ना। वीडियो कर रहे हो? टाइमर तो कर लेना।
हम तो बचा सकते हैं।
मेरे तो स्कूल में बोलते बेटा मैम व्हेन यू नेक्स्ट टाइम फॉल फ्रॉम द स्टेयर्स मेक श्योर दैट यू डोंट फॉल दिस वे, मतलब ऐसे ही गिरते रहना, इधर से नहीं।
आगे फोक हो जाएगा। कल का मौसम क्या रहता है उसके डिपेंड
स्टूडेंट्स के लिए और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए, एंड डीन ऑफ फैकल्टी इज हियर एंड डीन ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स इज हियर एंड व्हाटएवर इज लेफ्ट आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ इट। सो आप लोग का कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है, वी कैन हैव अ Q&A टाइप।
Something like ABC analysis. See with you.
तो क्वेश्चन आप लोग स्टार्ट कर दो, वी कैन हैव अ Q&A। और मनीष, यू वांट टू से समथिंग?
See, if you could summarize for us, we have been here till 84. So what are the changes which have happened in terms of the building?
Okay, what is
84 से तो major changes. So there were, we used to start with student facilities. There were 5 student hostels and a girls hostel. And there was a SAC building. Now we have
12.
11 student hostels and a girls hostel.
And hostel 12
and hostel 12 has just started paths towards construction.
And it is behind hall 2, just behind hall 2. Hall 2 के पीछे
पीछे
Is swimming pool now too crowded?
Swimming pool is exceptionally crowded. There are, in our time there were no slots. You could go there and swim for as long as you want. Now there are very strict 40-minute slots. You cannot.
इतनी भीड़ से तो it will look like a pond then.
Indoor swimming pool is another item.
We do need to. Institute does need another.
Somebody told me IIT Jaipur had a makeshift campus here.
Jodhpur. That was 2009.
Here for 2 years.
What is the intake nowadays? I mean,
intake is 840.
How much?
B.Tech.
840.
Total number of students on campus is 68,500.
Number of girls are 13%. ये number मुझे पता है. And BTech girls are 10%. And I think MSc and PhD मिला दो तो 13%. And girls hostel 3 है.
It jumped from 5% to 13% compared to our times.
But it was 1% my time.
16 out of 250, I know the exact number.
So, where do they show SFS movies these days?
They don't show.
They don't show SFS.
They know SFS. They don't even.
No, they do. Sorry.
Once in a while.
Okay, there are 3 places where they have movies screened. One happens in the hostel room itself on their computer. Almost every day it's there. And the other community level, it happens in the open air theatre now. We have an open air theatre.
Yes. Where is that?
It is
It's all
next to the
inclusive,
swimming pool.
basically.
Next to, adjacent to the swimming pool.
Okay.
That area in front of all 4 swimming pool,
There's a barrel and you see lot
new
of
sports
different
complex,
grass.
new student activity center along with an OIT has come.
I don't know.
नहीं, that means the new generation is not having the advantage of L7 ambience and L7.
नहीं.
Our times, we have been a part of
Yeah,
it.
मैं तो CD में बैठ के मूवी देखता था.
नहीं,
हमेशा CD में बैठा था तो देर से जाता था.
The interest
जगह नहीं
in watching movies together has gone down significantly.
Really?
क्यों? सब रूप पे देखते हैं मूवी. They on demand.
They are not watching less, they are just watching in the rooms.
They watch it on demand and they.
Gaming, internet gaming is also a big thing. I think
Well, it's a completely different experience.
yes.
Yes. I have watched it. I know how it is.
Try to restore that. Maybe not you or Julian, you can do that.
In fact, they are planning a movie screening in this place in Outreach Auditorium. They were planning one this weekend but couldn't happen. A couple of weeks ago to have it. Occasionally they go and do it in the Outreach Auditorium, but they find that open air theatre is much more, attractive. It's like not in winter. That's why they are going in winter to Outreach or some auditorium, closed space. In summer, winter lasts for about 3 months here. After that, it's pleasant weather, and the audio system in OIT is very good. They don't have big speakers. They are small, several of them distributed speaker. So they get a surround sound, beautiful surround sound. So that is very attractive.
Ideally, you have the community live.
Yes, there is.
And also the food court is there.
Right.
I believe you can just buy and drink and sit there.
So,
But in L7 you could not do that.
It was quite an experience in L7, especially after the midterm. When there was a movie screened at the last day of midterm, the people were squatting on the stage and watching movies.
Oh, I still remember. Oh, not just that. I remember there used to be light of that.
Yeah.
And people would dance, go and dance that. So that was good.
All Helen sequence can't say.
Something about sequence.
Yeah,
So, the number of branches must have come down, or every branch, the number of students are.
Department कुछ बड़े हैं, 2 बड़े.
तो फिर पढ़ाने के समय कैसे होना? Take care of that.
Large classes.
Large classes.
Tutorials are gone.
This is gone.
120 का है section.
No, there are
Tutorials.
120, right?
There are 2 models. One is 120 section tutorials. Some courses they still run with the old 35-40 per section. That's still running in some courses. Depends on which course it is. They're running 2 models.
So do you still have A section and B sections?
Yes, for some courses, yes, we have A section, B section. A section does one course, B section does something. In the next semester, they swap their courses. Yeah, we have that models.
So do you have the podcast for lecture or the tutorial for lecture?
We don't have broadcast. Podcast, no, we don't have a podcast also. We are trying to bring in that kind of thing where they could record it and put it on. That's not being still accepted.
What about the computer center?
Computer center?
Oh, they're still there.
Oh, sorry, sorry. Going back, Venkatesh has done some video lectures for one of the labs. So we used to have a lab lecture in one of the courses. So institute said you will get rid of the lab lecture. So he sat and recorded all those videos. so that people could watch before coming to the lab, so that they get the similar experience, but that things just that the instructors.
But they don't watch.
That is his comment.
So what is the quality of students now compared to 30 years back? Because I've been hearing, very contradictory things from different people.
You want to comment? I have my views about it.
Harish, you are dear students.
Nobody will record it. No, it's recorded. It's being recorded. Yeah, it's
graduate programs, and do they have provisions for, like the teaching assistants or whatever for the undergraduates?
Yes.
So
Most of them.
But then they have to be approved by the Senate.
There are two parts in it.
TA तो बन सकते हैं, but if they have to take a tutorial, they have to take it.
playground while fighting with their friends. They don't use English. And classroom becomes the only point of contact. Schools themselves are not adequately equipped with schools in convent or such schools where there are great teachers and great teaching methods and so on. I am talking about the majority, which is Bharat and not India. Even when the teacher is very good in English, quite often she finds that there is no material, there is no basis, there is no structure based on which she can, make some students write they pass. Whether they learn English or not, it never becomes clear. And of course, some good teachers try to teach formal grammar, and that is one of the things which most of the people are afraid of. So because of these reasons, the teaching of English is in a very bad condition. And this plus was supposed to be ampersand and, okay, but it was handwritten, so test of English. The two samples are answering the same question. A question is asked, it is an English diagnostic test.
Is it part of an English course here?
No, I took that test, diagnostic test, as a preliminary to EPP course. The most meritorious segment, the cream of the society. I am not mocking when I say that they are supposed to be the most meritorious. They are most meritorious because the subjects which they tried to learn, physics, chemistry and mathematics, there they have excelled. Those subjects which were taught to them, they have excelled there. But this is the level of English with which they have come to college. And quite often this is the level of English with which we are likely to pass from the college. And this situation cripples and paralyzes their working capability for years to come. This is a big problem. And when I thought about this, again and again I am here, this is my 18th year here, and I am seeing the state of the country, the most meritorious students of the country, and majority of them have very pitiable level of English. This has been always a concern for me, and by extrapolation, I can figure out particularly those who have learned enough English, who can make remedies, who can make amends for this. And if nobody else does, I will do it. I will form a team, I will take ways and means to accomplish this mission. With that mission, in 2001-2002, I started trying to make plans how to go about it. In 2000, not 2001, 2002, 2011. In 2013, behind my house, in the 7th quarter, I erected a little class in which I wanted to teach some people to begin with. And I did not want to collect 10 children because then I would be giving their playtime and I would be making a difference to only 10 children. I tried to get a number of volunteers who will learn from me, and then I will try to develop an army and send those volunteers who will continue to teach English to children. I ran 3 classes, one in my 7th quarter, then one behind the campus in Ansari, and then on another and on one side of the campus called Goa Garden. Okay. In these 3 places, I ran 3 small classes with partial successes in different stages. And through these classes, I found that teaching English is much more difficult than is something in which the knowledge is spread out in this kind of blocks. In level 1, there are many cells. In level 2, there are many cells. In level 3, there are many cells. And a typical person happens to have this kind of a structure of knowledge. Many very basic things he doesn't know. And then on the next level, he doesn't know anything. On the next level, he doesn't know anything. And who knows what out of these cells is very difficult to figure so that I can address everybody's needs. And then I started here and made a plan to go up to here. After which, somebody will be self-profitable, well into the path. And then very seriously I started making a class material, course material. And that course material turned out to be double the size of every semester course that I teach. 130 pages of my notes was a classroom of course notes. Practical English teaching, avoiding formal grammar, which can be given in a systematic manner. Then I started systematizing it, and then came the English proficiency program and English proficiency program is a robust, scalable and transferable teaching scheme with the following main elements. Elements are the same which any language teaching program will have. But then, in this, with a lot of care, I have tried to put together items, lessons and materials and teaching methodology which takes care of one very important aspect. Human beings learn through a very complicated process. That complicated process is neither fully logical and neither fully psychological. There is a combination of logical elements and psychological elements. I have tried to capture both into that teaching program. It's a teaching scheme. And there are 4 dimensions of English proficiency program by IIT. But then we could not directly address this segment because it is not just 10 children, 50 children, 100 children that are there in our target. We target the pace of delivery needs to be fast. It is like an orientation program, and focus should be on issues of instruction and the practice material must be mentioned. This has been the prime focus of English proficiency program throughout 2013, and I hope that in the long run this will meet with success. And what we try to do in this is that we conduct short programs for school teachers, and at the same time we try to accomplish 2 purposes. One, to improve their English for all those whose English needs improvement, and otherwise in both cases, whether their English is weak or whether their English is fine, we try to motivate them and we try to transfer to them this particular teaching methodology. Now, if this program runs with great success and this gets propagated to children, then if it is 100% complete success, then we should be expecting that after 15 years, the children who come out of school will be all right in English. But then that is after 15 years, if the program is complete success. What about those children who have completed school and who are already in the workforce or who are in college? So for that, there is a third dimension. This is consolidation. This is for educated youth, for whom the pace must be fast and coverage and delivery must be compressed or expedited. This is what we are going to do from today. Because among the 200 participants in the course that we are starting today, more than 150 are IIT students.
And nobody has ever found out my mistakes, thanks to technology. You know, nowadays spelling is, you can see corrected. You all must be having laptops or use it. Spelling mistakes is nothing. What I had was confidence, and there's no shortage of confidence in you guys. Be confident, listen to others, and be interested in what you're learning. And you'll find very quickly, in a couple of years, 3 years, your English will be pretty good. I'm sure within my colleagues, quite a few students, I know it, they came from totally Hindi medium school. They don't know. So have confidence, take interest, and that's it. And read. Read, write, enough English, and listen to others. And English, and I'm coming from Finland, and there is a generation gap there. Old people cannot speak English. Young generation can speak English very well. And and the Finnish accent is very strong. They use English. Movies, man. I'm sure you all downloading movies in the night and watching it. But I don't know what you're listening to it or not. So watch nice English movies also. There are lots of other type of English movies. We were not so fortunate. But still we learn. There were other colleagues with me, English medium school and lots of other schools, what he was referring to, that some are fortunate, some are not fortunate. We were all fortunate that we are at least here. So you have the talent, and learning new skills is not difficult. I was a mechanical engineer, and I have don't know anything about mechanical engineering now. Nothing. This guy said, I didn't know that time also, but so I had enough skill even that time to graduate in 5 years. Now don't start thinking that it was 4 years course and I took 5 years. It was a 5 years course. I won't talk about my grades. I was in front of you guys. I had zero confidence when I graduated from here. I had no skills in talking in front of these large number of students, which unfortunately was not taught to us here. Nowadays I don't know. But that skill also, that's also a skill. So I learned all those skills later on, and many skills I learned. And that will have happened gradually with you guys. I still stammer sometimes. And I used to stammer a lot when I graduated. I was standing in front of 5 students. And these kind of skills are also required. Be confident. Come to this class, whatever you are taught, try to learn. This is only 5% in class, but 95% is your effort. You have to do it later on. Watching English movies. So you enjoy watching the movie, but listen. And we really appreciate this effort. We had no time. We had some school-based English courses that time.
One or two courses.
Two courses. We still have SP1, SP2, I don't know what we have.
One ENG 112 is there.
So I wish you all good luck, and from our batchmates, enjoy your life, have fun. Now you
yeah, in fact, I was also from engineering medium background, but I need alumni, particularly for something in this. That's why it is written, if you want to donate to this program, then blah blah blah, the rest of it you know. And the most important thing for that purpose is that for the purpose of donation, we should write English. Yeah. Thank you.
We can download, you know very well.
All the best.
So they have been doing well, and they have been interacting with us on a regular basis. They come to Priyas and ask us problems, and they have their admissions in several colleges. Although they don't have any financially support from their homes. Like one of our students had a shop in their family business. So family forced him to join their shop, right?
That's very common in this.
But actually this is very common phenomenon in our regular society. Right? So we just interacted with the parents and the kid, and we just bought an admission for him in college.
And
this
how,
is
how about the people from outside, the students?
Yes.
What is it driving them up? Is it okay? We just talked about it at the beginning of the semester. Who are coming forward?
How do you acknowledge this?
How do you encourage them to join this voluntary effort? From outside.
From outside,
Students.
for students.
Yes.
So we 86 batch, and right now we are just able to we are just thinking about using that fund. So right now we don't need any funds, and I just thank you for that.
Have you got the FCRA registration also?
Yes, sir. Priyas has an
See, the money comes to the endowment fund. So, उसमें जो भी जाता है, it's one big well, and then it will be distributed.
So, named Priyas, there is a project in Dora.
एक query आई थी हमारे
Any problem, troubleshooting?
यही हुआ था वही
On FCRA score, the guy but the 40,000 plus FCRA registered bodies.
ठीक है, so कहाँ गया वो रवीश E-Cell. So now we go to a completely different realm, E-Cell, entrepreneurship. So from sports to Priyas to E-Cell. Ravish, I remember तुम्हारा नाम भूल गया? Shantanu.
From East.
And just a quick question, Jaya, you want to know who is there?
Today is the numbers are great.
SSI
इसके बाद कौन है? E-Cell के बाद विवेकानंद सर.
I am Ravi Shekharwal, the overall coordinator of entrepreneurship cell IIT Kanpur.
I'm Shantanu White, I'm to the overall coordinator here.
And we will be here today introducing you to the entrepreneurial ecosystem at the campus. So we all sitting here are the proud members of the Indian Institute of Technology Kanpur family. So what all we do here at our 4 years or anything, let's say research, projects, patents or anything, at the end of the day actually boils down to either creating a better impact or creating a value out of that. So we at Entrepreneurship Cell help students to turn their ideas, projects into successful ventures here being at college. So like if you get out of college, it's very hard for you to get a paycheck, just leave a fat paycheck job and find all the logistics, arrange all the logistics and start your company. But being at college, being in a productive environment, it's very easy to take a leap forward and start your own venture. So like who we are? So we are just a bunch of enthusiast students who actually are willing to promote entrepreneurship in the campus. Some of them are entrepreneurs who are actually holding a company, working with the markets, earning revenues. But as a whole, we are just a group of individuals who are from this regular BTech courses or anywhere and just connect with the students to promote entrepreneurship on the campus. And how do actually we do? We as student team approach the professionals sitting outside there. So let's say we have incubators, seed angels, venture capitalists. So that's all we, those guys will bring them to campus, provide an exposure here at the campus. Because being at Kanpur, it's not very often that you go out of the gate and you get to know what's happening outside there in the world. So our sole aim is to create an environment, an ecosystem here, so that the student doesn't face any difficulty if he is willing to take that leap forward. And we at ESL consider that entrepreneurship is an attitude. It's not just simply about just opening a company, it's about making a change. So it's not just that you come up with a website and it's your startup. You actually have to make a change, create a better living. We are at IITs, we are expected from the community that we do create things, and we are not just job seekers, we should be the job providers. So this is the team structure at Entrepreneurship Cell IIT Kanpur. As I said that I am a Shantanu and I are third year undergraduates. I'm from the Department of Material Sciences. It's no restricted that following departments could only participate in Entrepreneurship Cell. It's very open. And then we follow any organizational structure where we have a head campus, head events, corporate relations, the media and the publicity team, the startup internship program, and the one who actually look over the logistics, web and finance. So whereas we have head campus who would be interacting with the campus community, what they all need, is there any requirement for a workshop they need to organize. Let's say if I am coming up with an idea, I need to know how should the idea should be carried forward. So let's say if the campus is in need of organizing a business plan workshop, that's where head campus comes into the picture. So the students would approach, or either the head campus would approach, and then we at ESL would organize a business plan workshop for the students. Then we have head events. So we have a lot of number of events light around all the year. We have our entrepreneurship summit, TEDx IIT Kanpur, and we have this TechCriti, the annual festival of IIT Kanpur. So we look over the entrepreneurial part of the TechCriti. And then corporate relations, as I said, you need an individual to approach people outside there, to make tie-ups, to maintain those tie-ups along, to carry them over here so that it helps creating an ecosystem. Then it's media and publicity who normally looks over publicizing Entrepreneurship Cell over all the channels. We have been covered by the Times of India, Economic Times, over the activities that we do here at Kanpur, and also we have good number of startups that have been graduated from the campus under our guidance and mentorship. So what we do, so this is a list of things that we at Entrepreneurship Cell conduct. First is the Entrepreneurship Summit, then it's the okay, so first is the Entrepreneurship Summit Startup Internship Program. I would go in the details of everything, but let's list out first what all these things are. So we have Entrepreneurship Summit Startup Internship Program. It's an Enactus is a social body promoting social entrepreneurship. We have Prime 83 from the batch of 83. We are the ones who organize TEDx IIT Kanpur. We have a blog where students can write. We hold discussions so that there is a vibrant ecosystem out there where students have no doubts if they are actually pursuing some real hands-on things. We have campus entrepreneurs. We have people, you can meet them, who are actually running a startup. They are undergrads like us, or they are in other courses, but they own a company of their own. We have Startup 101. Currently at IIT Kanpur, we don't have any formal lecture series. Institute doesn't have a course on Entrepreneurship Summit. So at this time we thought that why should we wait for the institute to take an initiative that come up with a course of entrepreneurship. We at ESL came up with a course of entrepreneurship where we both take lectures, where campus entrepreneurs takes lectures. Then we have this campus ambassadors and E-Factor. So let's go into the deep of everything. Entrepreneurship Summit. So this is an event that we recently started with. It has been 2 years since we are organizing Entrepreneurship Summit. It's simply a 3-day festival where we create an entrepreneurial ecosystem where speakers come up, they give talks of their journeys. We organize workshops. So this year we have workshops on business plan, on raising funds, how to pitch venture capital, and then on execution part, how to actually execute your startup, how to hire people. We have workshops, then networking events. Obviously, when people like this year we had Aditya Sharma of housing.com. So when such people lands into the campus, it's obvious that student gets a chance for networking and just raising their knowledge how things are working outside in the world. Yes. So then we have startup internship program. It's not that you can just some of us can directly jump, let's say start a company, they can read up things, can gain knowledge through the through the writings and the text presence out there. But it's always necessary to have yourself in the that ecosystem, that part where you are part of a startup. So we came up with this startup internship program where we approach to the startups all over the country. So startup 101 lecture which is scheduled in L4 at 3 p.m.
some quick question?
So, now this does not seem to be training or any systematic approach. This is like more like dabbling into things.
Okay, so
We
sir,
have an MBA program. We have the MBA. With the 2 years.
This is part of the MBA program?
No.
It's not part of the, there is a formal MBA program.
So sir, I would just, as I said, why should I wait for the institute to take a step? Why should I wait for the institute in that policy making of 2 years, 3 years, where students should come up, the institute should come up with an entrepreneurship course? If I have these 6 startups who are actually there in the market, who just came up on it, like I mentioned the 6 startups, they had no one to mentor them.
ये लोग कुछ कह रहे हैं